This class is going to be focused around poses that help us open the shoulders and the neck. I find that when I feel a lot of tension and strain in my shoulders and neck, and even the upper back area, it's usually when I'm concentrating really hard or sitting at a computer. I call it assume the computer position, or even when it's getting cold outside. And here, for those of us in the southern hemisphere, we're going into winter. So I notice this closing off that starts to happen, the shutting down that happens when we collapse and hunch the shoulders. When I do find that I am collapsed and hunched, I tend to be less social, tend to be less wanting to step outside, go out into the community, be a part of life. So when we work on this reverse tendency, we get to really become aware of what's happening in our bodies, how that affects our mind, how that affects our emotions, and make the choice. We can make the decision if we really do need to protect ourselves, protect our hearts, then that's a decision that we make, rather than just doing it almost like an unrecognized habit or tendency. So when we start to become more aware of these, the way we hold our body, we can learn more about ourselves. So I hope you join me and enjoy this class today. We're going to start seated. I recommend grabbing perhaps a block to sit up on so that we can stay in this hero pose for several moments. Place the block just between the ankles behind you so you can sit back onto the block, however feels most comfortable. And just make sure the toes are pointing backwards, straight back, and the heels are lifted up towards the sitting bones. So take a moment to get comfy, to get situated. Bring the legs towards each other. You can even grab 2 blocks if you want a little bit of a higher boost, and especially if it's bothering the knees or the front of the thighs. Mostly the knees, that's what we want to protect. So, and then once you're here and settled, get comfortable, allow the hands to relax onto the thighs. Just take a few shoulder circles in one direction, really lifting them up and then drawing them down. And as you do so, just feel how that changes the chest, the shoulders, the neck, and then change directions on those shoulder rolls. Remember to breathe as you're rolling here. Good. All right, and then take an inhale, lift the shoulders up towards the ears. As you exhale, draw them down and back so that you feel those shoulder blades behind you, almost tracking down the spine, creating more space between the ears and the tops of the shoulders. And then we're going to bring the palms face up towards the sky and place pointer finger and thumb together, creating a nice circle with the fingers. And this is going to signify the openness in the throat. So we want to try to reflect this open sphere in the throat as it is in our fingers. And then close the eyes. Take a few breaths, a few moments just to get grounded, to feel your sit bones heavy on the block. The shoulders soft, drawing down away from ears. The crown of the head extending tall towards the sky. And as we're sitting up tall, both rooted in the earth and lifting towards the sky, try to find some ease in the body where you can find ease, especially in the face muscles, the jaw, shoulders, belly, and legs. And then we're going to be working on a breath retention exercise. So breath retention is we're going to create a cycle of breath. We're going to inhale for a certain count, hold at the top of the inhale, breathe out for that same amount of count, that same count, and hold at the bottom of the exhale for the same count. So I'll talk us through the first few and then leave you to go through that cycle on your own a few times as well. And as we go through this breath, bring all of the awareness to the throat, the neck, and shoulders, and the jaw as well. So trying to keep as soft and relaxed in those areas as you can. So just take a reset breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then breathe in for a count of 3. 1, 2, 3. hold at the top. Try to keep the neck and face relaxed for 3. And then breathe out here for 1, 2, 3. Try to let all of that breath go and then hold at the bottom for 1, 2, 3. Good. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're going to extend the time. Hold at the top of that breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then breathe out for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold at the bottom of the breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. And then continue breathing in. You can pick your count. Maybe 3, 4, or even up to 6 if you feel more expansive in the breath. And then hold at the top for that same count. Relax the jaw, the throat, even the tongue falls to the bottom of the mouth, and then breathe out for your count. And hold at the bottom for that same count. We're going to do it 2 more times at your own pace. And continuing to keep the awareness in the jaw, the shoulders, the neck. Maybe even noticing what cycle, what part of that cycle of breath that creates more tension. Maybe it's the hold at the top of the breath or the hold at the bottom of the breath. And then when you finish your last cycle here, just take a reset breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And then just take a moment to feel the openness in throat, neck, shoulders, returning back to a normal breath here. Acknowledge any changes that happened with that breath exercise. Good. And then when you're ready, take an inhale and just start to blink open the eyes. We're going to do just a few more shoulder openers before we get into the poses. So from here, just bring the right arm in front of the chest and then hold that right forearm with the left hand. Draw the right shoulder down away from the ear and extend that right hand out towards the left side as far as you can while keeping that right shoulder drawn down. You'll get a nice shoulder opener here, maybe even feel it through the arm, the upper arm. And then as you exhale, drop left ear gently towards left shoulder, just getting a little bit more opening in the side of the neck. No force, just gently letting the neck fall to one side. Good, and then inhale, come on up, release the right arm. And as you exhale, we're going to change sides. So left arm comes across the body, right hand holds onto that forearm. As you exhale next, draw that left shoulder away from the left ear, get long in the spine, and then gently release right ear towards right shoulder as you hug this left arm in towards the chest, drawing left shoulder down towards the earth. Good. And then come on up with the inhale. And as you exhale, we're going to interlace the hands behind the back. So just interlacing the fingers. With an inhale, keep the navel hugged in, the low belly hugged in towards spine, and then just breathe the chest open, feeling as if the collarbones were lifting and spreading up towards the ceiling. Shoulders and shoulder blades draw down and in towards each other, towards the spine. Keep the chin parallel to the earth for now. And then as you exhale the next time, drop chin gently towards chest. Again, not really forcing it down, just feeling maybe a little bit more opening in the back of the neck and shoulders. Good. And then from here, staying here with the fingers interlaced, we're just going to fold forward. So take it as far as feels comfortable. With your exhale, gently draw the forehead towards the earth and the arms up overhead. If you can get the head towards the earth, just relax the forehead down, but it's not important. If it's more comfortable to stay lifted, head off the earth, you're welcome to do that. And just take a few breaths, trying to create even more ease in the neck. This is a great shoulder opener. As you inhale, come on up to seated, and exhale, just gently release the hands by your sides. Roll out the wrists. And then we're going to come off of the block, bringing hands and knees towards earth, keeping the hips stacked over the knees and the knees hips width apart. We're going to exhale, just start to walk the hands forward towards the front of the mat as you draw the chest down towards the ground. You can either bring the forehead to the earth or the chin, depending on what feels most comfortable for your neck. But the key here is to try to find softness and that almost dripping down of the heart towards the ground. And just take a few breaths here. And then on your inhale, lift the chest off the earth. Walk the hands in just a few inches as you lower belly and chest to the earth. We're going to bring the forearms to the ground, elbows stack underneath the shoulders, fingers spread wide, so we're grounding through the forearms. Tops of feet are on the earth. The butt muscles are soft and relaxed. And then hug navel to spine as you inhale, just lift the chest as if you could extend the chest and heart over the fingertips, drawing shoulders down and away from ears. So you want to feel like you're growing longer in the neck. Shoulders draw down, away from ears. Good. And then pause here. As you exhale the next time, gently tuck chin towards chest. And we're going to take half circles here. So just bringing the chin towards the right shoulder. And then chin towards left shoulder. And switch sides. And then come on up with the inhale. As you exhale, bring right ear towards right shoulder. And swing the head around gently, bringing left ear to left shoulder. Good. And one more time each side. And with an inhale, come on up. And with your exhale, we're going to plant the palms, tuck the toes under, come up onto the knees. And we're going to press into downward facing dog. So get set up, get situated, tuck the toes under. And with your inhale, start to bend the knees, lifting knees off the earth, and then extending the legs up towards the sky. Feet are about hips width apart. Palms and hands are about shoulder width apart. And just like we did in standing, as you exhale, draw the shoulders down and away from the ears, firm up through armpits, and squeeze the upper arms in towards each other. So you're going to see these creases of the elbows starting to reach up towards the sky. And what that's going to help us do is draw the shoulder and this arm bone down into the shoulder socket, rolling the shoulder away from the ear, helping create that openness in chest. So we're wrapping the upper arms in towards each other, drawing shoulder blades down the back, letting the head and neck relax completely, and then breathe here. Good. On your inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, and just walk to the top of the mat, coming to forward fold. Feet are going to be hips width apart. On an inhale, bring hands to shins, lengthen the spine, halfway lift. As you exhale, fold back down, and then inhale, bend the knees, press down to the earth as you rise up to standing, and exhale, bring the hands into the heart. We're just going to warm up with some easy sun A. So with the inhale, press down to the earth, lift the arms. As you exhale, fold forward, nice flat back, navel hugs in, so supporting back with the core. Halfway lift, inhale, knees are gently bent. Exhale, plant palms, step back, plank pose, shoulders stack over wrists. As you exhale, next time, lower knees and belly and chest down. Inhale, chest lifts, tops of feet plant. Draw the shoulders down away from the ears. Feel the pubic bone press into the earth. Try to soften the glute muscles. And with your exhale, press up and back, tucking toes, lifting to downward facing dog. Take a breath here. And then inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward. Exhale, option to walk, hop, or step, top of mat. Halfway lift, flat back, inhale. Fold, exhale. Rise to standing, big breath in. And exhale, palms come in towards the center of the heart. Again, just like that, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, fold forward, nice flat back. Soft knees, halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant palms, step back, plank, and lower down to earth. One long line, or you can take your chaturanga. Inhale for cobra or high cobra or even up dog. And with your exhale, downward facing dog. Good, full breath in here. Neck is soft, shoulders draw back, full breath out. And then inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, exhale, walk, hop, or step, top of mat. Halfway lift, inhale, fold down, exhale, and rise with your inhale. Exhale, fold right back down. Halfway lift to prepare, inhale. Exhale, option to take a vinyasa, stepping back, plank to chaturanga, or rest in downward facing dog. Once we're in down dog, with an inhale, reach the right leg up and back. Down dog split. Exhale, step it through, right foot to right hand, and then ground your back heel to the earth for warrior one. On your inhale, rise on up, hips, chest, and shoulders face forward. Extend the arms once you feel grounded. If it helps square off the hips, walk that right foot out towards the right edge of the mat, just a few inches. Feel the inner hugging of thighs, hip points face forward, squaring off. Keep some energy through this back leg, pressing that foot to earth as you exhale. Interlace the hands behind the back. Reach up through the chest. Keep low belly hugged in, so we don't want to default by collapsing into low back. We want to stay supported from core, just lifting the collarbones towards the sky. And then as you exhale, the next time, fold forward for humble warrior. Right shoulder towards that right ear, coming slightly past it. Arms actively reach overhead. Neck is soft and relaxed, and breathe here. If you feel that right hip inching up towards the right side, hug the right hip in towards the center of the mat, in towards that left thigh. And with your next inhale, press down through right foot, rise back up, warrior one, arms extend. Exhale, hands to hips, straighten this front leg, really square off in the feet. If you need to, shorten your stance. And then grab opposite elbows as you exhale. We're going to keep the back nice and straight and long and fold over the right leg. Press into the whole footprint on both feet. Let the head and neck relax as much as possible here. We're going to take 2 more breaths here, letting shoulders draw down, neck find ease and softness. And then with your next exhale, release the hands towards the mat. Step back into a vinyasa, plank to chaturanga, or just rest in downward facing dog. With an inhale, come into your back bend, cobra or up dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back, down dog split. And as you exhale, step it through left foot to left hand. Again, ground your back foot. We're going to set up for warrior one on the left side. As you inhale, rise on up. You can lengthen your stance if you need a little bit more deepening in the pose. Shorten the stance if you need less intensity. But either way, feel the inner thighs hug in towards each other. Hips square off. Shoulders are soft, drawn down. And then just lift the arms, keeping those shoulders grounded away from the ears. Get grounded through that back foot, so press a little bit more extra energy into right foot behind you. And as you exhale, interlace hands behind the back. Take a moment here. Feel low belly plug in as if you could shorten the space between hip points and low ribs. Just lift the collarbones and the chest towards the sky, drawing shoulder blades down behind you. And with your next exhale, start to fold forward, humble warrior. Left shoulder towards left knee. We're coming slightly past it on the inside of the thigh. Keep left hip hugging in towards center of mat. Arms extending overhead and the neck relaxing as much as possible. Breathe. And with your next inhale, press into that left foot. Start to rise back up. Warrior one, arms extend overhead, and then straighten the front leg. Adjust your stance as you need to so you feel super grounded and squared off facing forward. Grab opposite elbows behind you. Nice long spine with the inhale. And fold over left straight leg as you exhale. Plant through both feet. Shoulders are drawing away from ears. Neck is soft. Crown of head towards earth. And breathe. Feel the whole footprint on both feet pressing actively towards the ground. One more breath here. With an inhale, rise back up, warrior one, unhook the arms, and as you exhale, plant the palms, step it back into your vinyasa, plank to chaturanga. Inhale, coming into your back bend, and exhale, downward facing dog. Hold here for 3 breaths, let the neck relax, take a big breath in through the nose, and an open mouth, exhale out. Good. Nice cleansing breaths in through nose, out through mouth. Gently shake the head out. Yes and no. Feel the upper arms wrapping in towards each other, drawing those shoulders away from the ears. Good. And then from here, as you exhale, place the knees on the earth. And we're going to come to seated into that hero pose, just like we did at the beginning of class. So maybe grab your block, sit down onto the block, bring the thighs towards each other, take a few shoulder rolls in one direction, and then the other direction. Good. All right, from here, we're gonna come up into our Ustrasana, our camel pose, which is a nice heart opener, back bend. So we're gonna start by rolling the front edge of the mat over to meet the knees, placing the mat right under the knees so you have a little bit of extra padding. We're gonna keep this block here just so we can sit back onto it in between these poses, and then lift up onto the knees on the inhale, bring the knees about hips width apart, and you're still hugging the block with the ankles. It doesn't need to be super forceful on the block, but just keeping those heels lifting up towards sky. And then bring hands to low back, navel pulls in. So again, rather than over-exaggerating the arch in the low back, just pull the navel in, draw hip points up towards the ribs, and hands to low back. Draw shoulders and elbows in towards each other, and as you inhale, just puff the chest up towards the sky. We're not going to be coming into a very deep back bend here. We're going to be focusing more on the openness in chest and shoulders. Keep chin parallel to earth. The tongue falls to the bottom of the mouth, and breathe. From here, with your next exhale, gently sit back onto the block. Bring the legs together, hands towards the thighs. Keep the eyes open, just gaze towards earth. And imagine as if you had an anchor hanging from tailbone, a balloon hanging from the crown of the head, so getting as long as possible through the spine. Good, we're going to come into this one more time. So on the inhale, come on up onto the knees. Knees separate, hips width apart, hips stack over knees. Hands to low back, draw navel in. As you breathe in, puff the chest up towards the sky. Draw the shoulders down away from you. If you want to deepen this pose, you're welcome to tuck the toes under and bring one hand to heel, or maybe both. Again, focusing mostly on the openness in chest and shoulders. Keep the chin soft. You can lift it up just a little bit, but try not to bring it all the way back, crunching in the back of the neck. If you're coming out with the hands onto the heels, lift one arm first, and then rise on up, and with everyone's exhale, sit back onto the block. Bringing tops of feet to earth, legs together, and again, just gaze towards earth. Imagine the anchor from tailbone, balloon from the top of the neck, the head, and breathe. Good, all right, from here, you can unroll that mat, just straighten it out in front of you. We're going to do a few more neck stretches in the seated position. So start by bringing the right fingertips towards the earth on the right side of your hips. And then with an inhale, lift the left arm up overhead, maybe walk that right hand out. We're going to take a side bend, so sit a little bit deeper into the left hip and gaze down towards the right fingertips. With your next inhale, lift this left arm up and out, reaching it away from you towards the left side. Keep gazing down towards that right hand, feeling some openness through the left side of the head. The left side of the neck. Good. And then from here, come on up on the inhale. Keep this bring the left hand towards the mat. And with an inhale, reach the right arm up overhead. Again, sitting a little bit deeper onto that right hip as you extend right arm overhead. Gaze towards the left hand. Get soft in the neck and jaw. And then with your next inhale, lift that right arm up, extending it away from you in the opposite direction, feeling a nice opening through the whole right shoulder, right arm, right side of the neck. And then with your inhale, come on up to seated. Good. Plant the right hand towards the earth again. This time with your exhale, bring left ear towards left shoulder. So the head's pointing the opposite way from the hand that's on the earth. And just take a few half circles like you were trying to draw a line, a half circle with the chin. And just take a few breaths to feel this opening in the side of the neck and top of shoulder. And maybe if you find a really good spot that feels tight, you just want to stay there for a few breaths. Stay there. Or keep moving. Good. And then bring left shoulder towards left ear. It's not going to touch, but just releasing that ear right towards the shoulder. And then bring this left arm up and around, and no force on the hand, just the weight of the hand on the side, the top of this the right side of the head. Just giving a little bit of extra weight to open the neck. But again, no force. Good, and then come on up with the inhale. Bring left fingertips to mat, right ear towards the right shoulder. Take a moment just to feel the length in the left side of the neck, shoulder, and arm. And then maybe taking those half circles, drawing a half circle with the chin. And again, maybe if you find a really good spot that feels like a nice opening, take a full breath there in stillness. And then maybe bringing chin towards chest. And releasing right ear towards right shoulder. Reach this right arm up overhead and just place that hand on the top of the head, giving a little bit of extra weight here. And then on your inhale, come on up to seated. Relax the hands towards the thighs and take a breath. Next, we're going to transition into shoulder stand, which is going to be our main final pose before we head into Shavasana. It's a great way to help open the neck and shoulders, but what I will recommend is using a blanket or a towel to help boost up the shoulders, to give a little bit more space to the neck. So we're going to bring the towel or blanket towards the top of the mat. Slide the block out from the mat, and then wrap the top of your mat around the blanket. So you're gonna have this nice grippy part of the mat for the shoulders. We're gonna bring the tops of the shoulders right along this edge so the head is off of the mat and blanket completely. So the head is gonna be on the ground without the mat beneath it. Scoot down so that you feel like the tops of shoulders are supported. The head is gonna be on the earth. Take out any buns, or if you have long hair, take it out, just so again we have as much space as we can get in the neck, rather than creating any crunching or extra pressure. So then get settled here, tops of shoulders line up with this roll, and then bring the hands to the low back. Tuck my shirt in. Hands to the low back, lift the knees in towards the chest, and then start to walk the elbows in towards each other about shoulder height, knees towards the face to start. And then as you're ready, you're going to start to extend the legs up overhead, walking the hands down the back towards the earth. Extend the legs high, keep the chin tucked in towards the center of the chest, and breathe. In stillness to start. Just letting all of the energy, all of the blood, fluids drain down from the feet. You can wiggle the toes, point and flex the feet maybe. And then from here, just bend one knee in towards the forehead, extend to the opposite leg, and change sides, just taking a couple different leg variations. Maybe even bringing the bottoms of the feet together, knees wide. Good. And then to release, bring knees towards forehead. Support the hands on the hips. Support the hips with the hands as you slowly roll down. Bring feet to the earth. And then just take a moment here. Roll to one side. Unroll the mat beneath you. Remove the blanket. And then come back onto your spine. Bring the thighs, knees in towards the chest. Reach between the knees to the outside edges of the feet, and then bring the bottoms of the feet up towards the ceiling. So keeping the knees bent, the thighs are going to be wider than the torso here, and give a little bit of downward pressure into those hands to bring the thighs closer towards the earth. Feeling the back get as long as possible. So we want the shoulders down onto the earth. We want the tailbone pressing down to the earth as well. Look side to side with the head and the neck just to release. Good, and then as you exhale here, let go of the feet, extend them out long, bring the feet as wide as the mat, the palms out by the sides, palms face up. Walk one shoulder underneath you and then the other so you feel broad in the shoulders and chest. Close the eyes, take a big breath in through the nose, and an open mouth exhale out. Again, one more, just like that. Big breath in through nose, and a cleansing exhale out. And then let go of control of the breath. Feel the body release and find ease on the ground. Stepping into a state of surrender, of letting go. Allowing your body to align itself, to integrate the opening and the effect of the poses, and ultimately to begin to heal. Feel the tongue fall to the bottom of the mouth, the throat getting more open, the chest and shoulders growing softer with every breath out. And just noticing that easy rise and fall of the chest with the breath. That steady rhythm of the heart beating. There's no tension in your shoulders, neck, or upper back. Every breath that you take is helping find more ease, more softness. You're welcome to stay here longer if you have a bit more time for your practice. Otherwise, start to bring some movement into the body. Take a big breath and extend the arms up overhead, reach out through the toes, and then roll to one side and use the hands to help support you up to seated. Take a comfortable cross-legged pose on the earth, or you can sit back up into hero. Bringing hands to the knees, palms face up, draw shoulders down, away from ears. Just take a few moments to reflect on your practice, to acknowledge how these poses and this opening has affected your experience or your awareness of what's going on in your body, mind, or heart. And then join me in closing out this class by bringing the palms together at the center of the heart. And just sending a little extra gratitude to self and to life. Thank you for joining me. Namaste.